What's up guys, it's Jose, and this week we're going to get into the review of the Samsung 49-inch Super Ultra-Wide display. Woo! Let's get into it. So I did an unboxing of this monitor about 4 weeks ago, and you can watch that right about here. This baby was a beauty. I seen this in Micro Center. They had it on display, and when I walked by it, I was just, it like stopped me in my track. I was like, and I was telling my girl, like, I gotta review this. I gotta at least see how it feels, right, for editing, but most importantly, right, gaming. So, as many of you know, I am so into PUBG, Players Unknown Battlegrounds, and this is all I've been playing. I've clocked in almost $300 on this baby. So I know some of you guys have $300, that's it. And some of you guys are probably like, what? I gotta tell you one thing though. I've been gaming a whole lot more, and I go back and forth a lot. If you watch my videos, you'll see this. I'll go from a 27-inch to an ultra-wide to a 40-inch. Right? But lately, and I said this in an older video too, where I couldn't really tell the difference in refresh rates too much, but I'm telling you that the more I have been gaming, the more I have been realizing this. Once you go G-Sync, by the way, I have NVIDIA cards. Once you go G-Sync, once you go 144 hertz or higher, and if you can actually hit frame rates above 100 frames per second, whoo, for me personally, I prefer 144 hertz as opposed to a 60 hertz monitor. So anyways, let's get into the meat of this monitor, right? So the showcase winner is what we all know is the huge 32:9 aspect ratio. Holy shit, that is long.
That's what she said. Or he said.
So typically monitors are 16:9. An ultra-wide is 21:9. This sucker, 32:9. Good lord. It's just super wide, hence the name super wide. So the idea behind this was, instead of having a dual monitor setup, you can have this monitor and have a seamless, bezel-less just experience. I gotta tell you, that's exactly what it felt like. The resolution is a 3840 by 1080 display. It's a little awkward because most ultra-wides are 3840 by 1440 or 2560 by 1080. That was one of the most skeptical things that I had in my mind going into this monitor was, holy cow, everything else looks great. 144 hertz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, HDR, an immersive experience. I mean, everything about this monitor screamed, yes, get it, buy it, own it, love it. But that resolution. So when I plugged it in, it unfortunately rang true. I am so used to a 1440 pixel density of that at 1080, no, it just didn't work for me. The length was there, but the height, everything just fell short, from web browsing to even video editing. Now, video editing on it was beautiful. The length of it was, again, you feel like you have so much more to work with. But the 1080 resolution, it just didn't work for me at all. So after taking this out of the box, putting this on my desk, I have a huge 72-inch desk, and this sucker almost took the entirety of it. So, just so you know, if you're buying this, make sure you have the real estate. We're talking about almost 4 feet wide of a monitor. Just saying. Ports: 2 HDMIs, 1 display port, 1 mini display port, and a USB 3.0 hub. It does have a beautiful 1800 curvature on it, and it's expected because a monitor this long, you need that nice curve. So when you're sitting back on it, you do feel that it's wrapped around you, so you don't feel like you're missing anything in the corners, and it was curved perfectly, so yes on that. It does tilt, and it does swivel. It does have a pretty cool headphone hook in the back. So the on-screen controls on this monitor is very aggressive in terms of like a gaming feel to it. I like the look. The menu system is very easy to navigate around. It has 3 preset buttons underneath. The 144 hertz is already clocked in, so you don't have to overclock it. This monitor, like the Quantum Dot 34-inch monitor that I reviewed a few months ago, it does have the Quantum Dot display, the QLED. All that means is that it uses nanoparticles to give you better lighting and better color representations than other LEDs. Whatever. Now let's get into my video editing experience. Video editing on this thing is probably my favorite thing on this because, again, the ultra-wide display, it was amazing. It was beautiful to work with. The extra real estate is just a big bonus. Because of the resolution, 38 by 40 by 1080, the 1080 just didn't work for me. Everything just felt really short. It's hard for me to explain this. The vertical aspect of it was just short it felt. If you're a video creator, yes, this looks amazing in terms of how much real estate you have. And if you enjoy the 1080 pixel density, Yes, you'll love it. I mean, it's amazing. It's breathtaking, actually. If you're coming from an ultra-wide that already has a 3840 by 1440, you'd be a little disappointed because of the 1440 pixel density is a whole lot more. I mean, it shrinks everything a little more, so you feel like you have more space in there as opposed to the 1080. It just feels everything just feels larger. If that makes any sense. In the web browsing, yeah, you can zoom out to about 80%, so that way you can have things more filled in. The thing about this monitor is that you can actually have 3 web browsers open at one time, which is really cool. All right, let's talk about HDR. Now, HDR I really didn't get into too much. Hitman Absolution was the only game that I actually utilized the HDR with it, and yeah, it looks good, but it wasn't breathtaking to me. HDR isn't something that I'm actually looking for in gaming right now. I have for TV, and I mean, it's okay, but if you really are into HDR, then this is something that you probably really like. Watching movie experiences. Now, this is something that you have to know. As I mentioned before on my previous 34-inch monitor reviews, when you're watching videos, say on YouTube, and you put it at full screen, you're only gonna get that 16:9 aspect ratio experience, so you can have a lot of dead space. It's just something to really think about if you're into watching movies on your monitor. Now with the experience, this is part of something that everyone really wants to know. What's the experience like? I get this a lot. Probably the best I can phrase this is immersive. It's completely immersive. There's something that's really cool about having a bezel-less display that's just like, whoo, it's really cool. So playing games with this, in my experience, I mean, I was like in awe. I was like, what? Playing PUBG on this, I was just like, I'm sold. I love this. This is awesome. And then I started realizing something. Wait a minute. I kind of feel like it's stretched out. So I took a snapshot of the 34-inch in the exact same spot, and then I took another snapshot with this monitor in the exact same spot as well. And my eyes weren't playing games with me. It was being stretched. So as you see in the picture, you see that it's just being a stretched image on a 32:9 aspect ratio compared to 21:9. So I was thinking like, oh, this is why would I have this monitor if it can do that? Why not just stick with a 34-inch ultra-wide display and just be happy with that if I'm getting that same image stretched out to here? I mean, what's the big deal? What's the big difference? Especially when you look at the price point. So I started looking into this, and I realized that a lot of first-person shooters aren't optimized to play in 32:9 aspect ratio. It's optimized for resolution, but it just gives you a stretched out image. One of the games that I found was Rocket League, and it was actually optimized to play in 32:9, and whoo! Now you want to talk about an immersive experience? That was pretty sweet. But we buy our gear based on our needs, and I say this all the time. So this monitor, I wanted to optimize my PUBG experience, my first player shooter experience, my video editing experience, and unfortunately, it didn't fit. It dropped the ball for me, personally. So with that said, this is the reason why I am not keeping it. This is why I'm returning it. I cannot justify this amount of money for something that I can get in the 34-inch monitor for the games that I play and the things that I do. I am not taking away that this monitor is freaking awesome. It is immersive. If you're coming from 2 1080p displays or a triple monitor setup that are 1080, and you want something that's just one monitor, you will absolutely love this. If you find games that are optimized for 32:9 aspect ratio, you will absolutely love this. If you're coming from like an Acer Predator 34-inch 3840 by 1440 or an Asus or any 34-inch with a 1440 pixel density, you will like it. You would like the view of the monitor, the size of it, but your experience with it will be lacking of. And again, my friends, I'm just being completely honest with you, so that way you know what to be prepared for when you do purchases or if you decide to. So I'm hoping to help you make that decision better. So again, I'm not telling you not to buy it, but I'm just trying to help you make that better decision if you're planning to. So that's it for me, guys. Again, these are just my thoughts about my experience with this monitor. I give you the reasons why I'm not keeping it, but I also give you the reasons why you should buy it if it interests you. But please, any questions you have about this monitor, leave them below. I will personally answer them for you. But besides that, don't forget to subscribe. I got many more videos coming up with reviews, unboxings, camera techniques, a whole bunch of stuff coming your way. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. But besides that, leave a thumbs up or down if you're into that. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.